What's up, everybody, and welcome to
Hold on to your edges.
a weekly podcast hosted by myself, Angel Lakita Moore, also known as ThatChickAngel, and my homie, my sister. Tell them who you are.
I'm Brisha Webb. I'm the woman of. Yeah, I don't know what to say. You had such a great introduction.
You had a good one too.
I'm Brisha Webb. I'm your friend.
And I'm your friend.
I'm an actress and a crazy lady.
So, hold on to your edges is literally the random conversations me and Brisha used to have pre-COVID on each other's couch. And we decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and allow the rest of the world to hear what we're talking about. So that's what you're getting. Then we have guests today. We don't have any guests. It's just going to be some me and sis time. You know what I'm saying?
Getting back to basics. The past couple of guests that we've had have been on fire.
Yeah.
So,
we've actually had a lot of guides. If you haven't, if this is your first time listening to Hold On to Your Edges, we're about to snatch your edges off of your head.
Alfred,
you're gonna be a bald eagle up in this piece. But we've had some great guests. We've had Notori Naughton, we've had Gabrielle Dennis, Major, Luke, James. We've had Lamorne Morris as well as Jay Lee. And then we've got some fire getting ready to come to you all in some upcoming episodes. So basically, you need to be following this podcast, rating and reviewing it on Apple Podcasts, makes it more discoverable. And then you'll know when we're uploading this fire.
Because we're about to snatch your edges, okay?
So we start every episode off with some just amazingness.
Amazing. Like sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's a little awkward. For me, sometimes Angel's always awesome.
No, it's never awkward, Brisha. Ever. It's always amazing. You know what I'm saying? There are songs that a lot of people are like, how did Macy Gray had a hit? Okay.
I'm trying to say goodbye and I choke.
Right.
And I walk. She got a cigarette in her throat.
Her singing voice is the speaking voice of COVID-19. That is what her singing
I've never thought of it like that.
That is.
I walk away and I stumble.
Yeah, that's COVID coming for you. That's what that is.
It's clear. I walk not here.
So what I'm trying to say to you is nothing you have ever done has not been at least a hit. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever talk down about your voice, friend.
Thank you, friend. And I want everybody to get a friend like Angel because it lifts you up when you're down.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, I just put a chip in my mouth like I'm not doing a podcast.
And it got really loud all of a sudden. I want to shout out my friend's jacket that's now getting entirely too hot. This is Bici Carmonte.
If you're not watching, it's a gorgeous jacket.
Gorgeous pink jacket that I was supposed to wear somewhere, but we're in COVID, so
yeah.
I didn't get to wear it.
Take a picture of yourself in it and post it.
It's cute. So we have a song.
We have a song completely improvised.
Yeah. Should I tell them the topic or we should just do it?
Just do it. I don't even need to know. This is based off of audience suggestion from the people who are here. We have some of Brisha's followers. We have my Patreon members, the Angel Wings. So they are the ones that gave us what this topic is going to be. And Brisha's going to choose the style. Let's do it.
Let's go. Oh, yeah. Give him the praise, God. Kanye, you done fucked up my life now. Kanye, you want to get these votes any way you can. Give him to Trump. Give him to Ken. Kanye, keep marrying all these girls. I don't know which one you're going to take. You got Kim, yeah. You got the children. Got the votes going everywhere. Now you want to run for president. You want to keep praying. I don't know what you're saying. I like your music, but I don't want you for president. Kanye, stop playing. Kanye, stop playing. Angel.
It's a wild, wild west when you're messing with Kanye. Doing his best on his medication. But he needs a vacation. Doing political process. Because Kanye is making a mess. He needs to stick to rapping and producing these songs. Because everything he's doing right now, it's surely wrong.
Oh, Kanye.
Kanye.
You're looking crazy, Kanye. Stop playing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that was great. I was like, oh, what are we talking about? That was great. So you all can let that fire bless you.
Yeah, let that bless you.
I mean, it was an upbeat country, which
I'm not country gospel fusion.
Yeah, I liked it.
Happened the leg, and then it just came. Improv brilliance. Improv brilliance.
Improv brilliance.
Okay,
that's what I'd call it.
That's what I love it. I love it. Thank you, Pam Ellis, for loving it.
Pam said he doesn't deserve that song. That's how good it was.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Okay, so we've come to the part of our podcast where we talk about edge snatchable moments, something from either Black Twitter or the news lines that have snatched our edges. And I would like to go first, if you don't mind.
Please, sis, go first. Go first. Go first.
My edges are snatched because my sis was submitted for not one, but two, for your consideration, Emmy nomination. She's up against herself, you guys. Like, how boss is that? So let me explain the process so you all could know what happens. So in order to make it onto the Emmy nomination card, the producers or the network in which your show is on have to submit you to the Emmys voter, whatever you want to call it. And they have different categories. Brescia has been submitted for supporting actress in a comedy series. So she worked on Black AF. Wait a minute, were you for supporting actress or guest star?
Guest star, both.
Guest star. That makes me even more proud. So guest star on Black AF, which is on Netflix, which if you all haven't watched it, you go ahead and watch. Brescia has a great episode in there where she's acting with Nia Long and Reseda.
Dreams coming true, guys.
I mean, and just holding her own. As well as her work in Sherman Showcase. You get to see her play Mary J. Blige in Sherman Showcase. If you haven't seen it,
just an adjacent of Anita Baker.
Yes. Oh, it's so good.
Thank you.
But from here, those people who are members of the what is it called? It's not the
Television Academy.
Yeah, it's like the Television Academy. Will then vote from the list of people who have been submitted. So it's a huge honor to even be submitted. I was submitted last year, found out.
I was about to put you on blast. I was going to let you finish. I was like, my sis was nominated last year, okay?
I was submitted for nomination last year. Was complete surprise. But to be submitted from two different shows, that's a big fucking deal. Okay.
I know. It feels really nice.
It's a big deal. It's Tiffany Haddish, who we love, has an Emmy, and that's because she won in this category. She was nominated by SNL. SNL submitted her for a guest star when she was on there as the host. And from there, she was voted up to be nominated. And then from there, she won. So that is what we are hoping for. We're praying for that. Because why not now?
Why not now? I'm in two categories. I'm in the same category twice. Let me live. Like, this girl must be good. She in there twice.
2 times. Same year. During COVID. And what's great, I mean, like, when does the voting close?
July 13th.
July 13th, so soon.
Mm-hmm.
But what's great is that the playing ground is a little more level because you can kind of sort of campaign, but there are so many rules. So
Angel had to tell me about them because I was like, vote for me. And she was like, you can't do that.
I was like, Brisha, don't do that. Don't do that. Because I don't want for somebody to be petty and be like, once you make it on the ballot, to be like, oh, but she disqualified herself. No, ma'am. No, I did not.
No, I did not. I took it down. I took it down and changed the language.
Okay. So, like, out here in Hollywood, you all don't see these where you all are from. Well, most of you all from out here in Hollywood, there are billboards that say for your consideration. It'll have like the entire cast of a show, or we get trade magazines like Variety and the SAG-AFTRA magazine. Yeah, and so the producers or the networks of the show pay for these ads and stuff. But now that COVID is happening, I don't feel like it's as much as like put in our face because it's just like, what's going on?
We're going to events. We're going to so many things, but now since COVID, you can just celebrate at home with yourself and your friends.
Yeah. And like you can have a huge social media presence and probably reach more. You have to be, in order to vote, you have to be a member of the television academy. So fans can't vote. This is not like the BET Awards where there's like a fan favorite. It's literally your peers that work in this same aspect of the industry. So I can only vote for actors. What'd you say?
Moore said she is an important ear in the game. She will vote for Brisha. T Moore.
Okay, come on, T Moore. Come on, T. So, so like costume designers can only vote for costume designers. Actors can only vote for actors. So look at Wigisha. So that snatched my edges of this.
Thank you, friend. I love you. Thank you. And I was able to celebrate that on her birthday. So it was very special.
It was so great. When she showed it to me, I was like, what? True? No. So what's your edge snatchable moment?
Well, I don't want to come in being depressing, but I mean, Kanye running for president and he didn't even sign up for anything. We just have to remember that there are TikTokers and young people that are involved right now, and they would just vote for Kanye as a joke. Because they don't believe in Joe Biden or Trump. So they'll just go with Kanye, and those votes will essentially just go in Trump's favor. So please tell your kids or youngsters around you, including myself, not to vote for Kanye. Because him and Kanye, Trump and Kanye are definitely friends. So, that's just been my main agenda and finding justice for Breonna Taylor and Elijah. But right now, what's snatching my edges is that Naya Rivera,
I know,
has not been found, and everybody has taken it upon themselves to create some conspiracy, theory or how it happened. And I'm we don't know anything. And just to even imagine a girl drowning, this mother, this young mother who, with her child, the boy was in the boat, her son, 4-year-old boy, and it was kind of confusing when they reported it last night. The newscaster, or not the newscaster, the police or the firemen or whatever that found the boat and the little boy, they kept saying the little girl, the 3-year-old little girl, when clearly it was a little boy who's 4 years old. So it was kind of like,
wait a minute, the boy was in the boat by himself?
By himself.
Oh, she did. Oh, man.
She did? You think she did?
Ain't no mama just gonna leave their
Leave
baby
that
out in
baby
the
in the
boat.
boat. But then it's like, how did she get out of the boat? Like, did she place her son down and he went to sleep? Because I said, like, you listening to music, the baby sleep. You're like, I'm gonna take a dip in the pool, and take a dip in the lake or the wherever she was, and then you drown. But the baby's already safe and sound. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. So she probably got pulled under by something, and the baby can't do nothing. Like my 10-year-old wouldn't even be able to help me if that happened. It would just, I'd be SOL.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I
Oh
mean, that's
man.
just pulling my edges right now. I mean, I was definitely a fan of Glee, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of she was a child actress, and to see so much love and outpour go out about her is really great because Big Sean had that song saying
Yeah.
he did
Yeah.
that
I bet you
song.
he mourning too, though.
I
I
bet
bet
you
you
he
he
mourning
mourning.
too because he shouldn't have said that about her.
Listen, anytime a man
Even
write
if
a
she's
song
crazy,
about you, he thinking about you. He
he's
write a
thinking
whole
about
song.
whole song, girl, whole song,
Mm.
whole
I
song.
did not realize the baby had survived.
Yeah,
And
the baby.
the what the angel wings are saying over here is
She
that
didn't even have a life vest on.
it
Mm-mm.
said she had jumped in the water, and her son saw her do that. He said they were swimming, and he got back in the boat, and she didn't. See,
So traumatic.
it is.
That is traumatic.
That's the saddest thing. Oh man,
I
I'm
mean,
definitely gonna be praying
COVID
for her. So,
2020 is, I'm
mm,
over it. I mean, I know I've been blessed in my 2020. Thank God. Thank you. We have everything that we need. But the lives that have been lost in 2020, it's just not cool. I mean, I'm not, well, Jesus. Let me look. Let me. Kobe. The case got me confused with the syllable and the vowels.
uh-huh, yeah,
Kobe
yeah. Kobe
at the
Bryant.
beginning. So many people died already.
Yeah, it's just like
And you know,
another.
Sunshine, when he gone, he died.
Mm-mm. No, I don't think it's suicide because let me tell you
Ain't nobody gonna leave their son. Ain't nobody gonna drag their baby into that
that and drowning is one of the worst ways
to die.
to die.
That's
There are
why I don't
several ways.
swim. That is why I haven't learned how to swim, and I'm not going in no situation like that. I don't go on no boats. That's why
Mm-hmm.
they brought me here.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm-mm. It's just so sad. It
So
is so sad.
that is
Um,
what's snapping my edges, and I need oil and some castor oil just to massage to grow them back because it's not cool.
no.
But what
I,
else? I mean, Kanye. I talked to Tiffany. She shaved her hair off.
Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany had to shaved her hair off.
Why?
She is such an explorative, brave person, and she just said she did not know what was underneath her scalp. She had her locks in forever since this whole, quarantine. She got it done like right when this all started.
Wait a minute.
And
Tiffany Haddish had locks.
well, I mean, like the braided, like the ones I
Okay.
had,
Uh-huh.
and she just was like about to take them out, and she just started cutting them. And she was like, she's been talking about it forever, so it looks like, girl, is she okay? Call your friend.
Uh-huh.
But she's been talking about cutting her
Oh,
hair.
okay. So yeah, now's the best time to do it.
Right. Like, see if you like it or not. But
Yeah.
she shaved her head off, and it's been like a complete news. Like everybody's talking about it, and
Because that's
it's
huge for a
great
black woman.
for a black. And I mean, she's shaved it down.
Mm. Oh
And
my
she looks
God.
good. I mean, she was like, she knows how many moles she has. Like
On a
she
scalp.
wants to count every mole, every scar. She wants to know her body. She's
And Tiffany
super brave.
she was not high, right? She was
No.
okay.
She said she got in the shower and she said she's been having so much fun taking baths and showers, and she hasn't had to worry about her hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's so freeing. It's so empowering to know
Yeah.
that she loves herself from the outside within.
No, it's like this is the best time to do it. The best
Yeah.
time to explore. To be like, let's see, what does it look like?
What
What
is
does
it
it look
like? Yeah. And
Now,
I had that time in college. Like I cut my hair off in college.
you didn't shave it bald.
I didn't shave it bald, but I had to Eva Pickford. I was blonde. It was close.
I was born.
It was close.
I
got
I was sent something. I don't know if it's true. That they're putting something together. I don't know which state. I don't think it's federal.
Okay.
Something called the Karen Act, where they're going to make it illegal to call the police on someone just based off of their race.
Yes.
And I am elated.
I love it. But did you see what it stands for? The K? It's not a K, it's a C.
It's a C.
It's a C.
What does it stand
Karen
for?
Act. Yeah, I forgot. I gotta find it. Maybe we can put it in the notes. But I read it and I was like, yes, yeah.
Whoever did that is hella petty. And I love it. The fact they were like, and not only that, we are going to name it.
It was San Francisco. It was San Francisco. Thank you, Jazz.
Okay,
good. Good on
you. That is so good. I'm glad they're calling it the Karen Act. Because as much as they talk about, I don't like being called a Karen. I don't like to because you need to set in that. If you that don't get caught up in the word. Set in the fact that you have strong racist tendencies and that you're willing to put somebody's life in danger just because you don't like them because of the color of their skin, just because they're doing something that you disapprove of them doing only because they are a person of color. So go on somewhere and get that Karen.
You know that Karen that was in the Central Park. Here with the Central Park.
Yeah.
And the black dude who's like graduated from Harvard or Yale or something like that. And he's like a garden extraordinaire or whatever.
Yes.
Girl, he don't want to press charges.
I heard. I saw.
I said, I will press charges for you.
I'll press it. You know everybody. You remember when our good friend Marquita went through it and she didn't want to have that woman arrested. She was just like, I just didn't want to. There was a child involved. She was like, then that child would have been taken by the police. I've been like, yeah, all of that.
He would have been taken because she's not, that Karen doesn't deserve.
She was like, she's since moved, all this other stuff, yada, yada, yada. So like, he's not the first person I've heard, like, you know, in that moment when they feel like they have a lot of power in their hands, decide I'm gonna be the bigger person. You know, I feel like black folk be the bigger person a lot. And
we were the bigger person by coming. We were the bigger people by being here, forced to work for free. Okay. Have their children, make sure their children was breastfed. That's what I'm pressing for. Press. All the oppression. Press. All these hangings that they saying that was suicide. Press. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. The wrong thing is going up. That's not what I wanted to put up. I wanted to put up this all day. Finesse it. I'll press
nails on, some jeans. Yes. Do all the pressing.
All of the pressing is happening. Pressing everything.
Pressing all for the ancestors. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm pressing for.
Yeah. Yeah. We be so understanding. And it's just like, I don't feel like it. Don't call on my Christianity if that day comes.
Even that trial that they had. Remember when the judge came down and hugged, the white officer, and it was like, he asked for the Bible.
It's just like, we just be so need that compassion in us.
Press it. I'm a press.
Yeah. Press. So, anywho, today, you guys, we wanted to talk about some things that we realized, God dang it, this is inappropriate.
It's really
this ain't right. How is this even happening in 2020?
Yeah.
Still
things
that we didn't realize that back in the day
we enjoyed it. We were saying these things, watching these movies, enjoying these things, and then we look at them now with the adult mind,
and we're like, this is don't keep wrong. Wrong.
Wrong.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were having a conversation. What was you had brought up something, Brisha, in the
Yes, I did.
conversation, huh?
Oh, what did I bring up that started
Yeah,
it?
in the conversation that made me go, "Oh, girl, that's what made me think of such and such."
Well, I was doing some recreational fun by myself. And I ended up watching Clueless because that movie makes me so happy. When I
Mhm.
remember growing up, I loved Clueless and I just started watching it and it just made me so happy. And as
Uh-huh.
I was watching it, there's Cher and she's, blonde, and you got Dion, Stacey Dash canceled, but loved her in this. And she's definitely 30 something in this movie. And and you're just watching it and you're into it. And then all of a sudden you see that Cher falls in love with her stepbrother.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Her stepbrother. They didn't
Mhm.
have any type of blood between them, but everybody was so accepting at the end
Like,
that she fell in love with her stepbrother. And he
yeah.
was having feelings for her too. And I mean, I just, I,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
disturbing. And how the father okayed everything. And she was like, I'm just gonna I'm gonna try to play with the big boys. And I'm gonna try to highlight everything. And I highlighted wrong. And he's like, you fucked it up. Go shopping. And she was like, I didn't want to be shopping anyway. I was trying to be with you guys. He said, you just be stupid and shop and fall in love with your stepbrother.
I love you impersonating her voice.
You said, I was sad.
You know what?
It was so Pornhub. Exactly. It was definitely a Pornhub fantasy. And I was
Mhm.
like, your brother, she's in these short skirts and she's like, she's sending herself flowers for the gay guy. And that's cool. I always thought that part was so funny. And I totally was like, she's going all above and beyond. And this guy is so gay. It's so cute. And it's so cute. And then I realized that Brittany Murphy was definitely on drugs.
Oh, in
Because
the
she was
movie, you're like,
talking about drugs. And I don't know what my brain at that age was thinking. I was like, Brittany Murphy's so funny. She was definitely like a recovering. And she was
yeah.
like, oh my God, they have Coke. I'm going to go over there. And they're like, no. So Cher was trying to stop her friend from doing Coke. I mean, it was life changing watching it as an adult.
Speaking of that, I just want to bring up this fact that Brisha just made me aware of, and when she said it, I finally realized it. Is that our intro where Brisha goes,
Hold on to your edges.
is from Rolling with the Homies. Just FYI.
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 And it wasn't like the song, the melody for Rolling with the Homies is different than Rolling with the Homies. That's
Yeah,
what Brittany Murphy did. She just wanted to show us that she could sing. I was obsessed with Brittany Murphy.
I can see. I
was.
can see. So, one of the inappropriate moments I wanted to bring up, most of mine are from music. I follow Essence on Instagram, and they put up the performance they had Belle Biv DeVoe perform,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
They said
they
this
were singing okay. They were singing the song, It's Driving Me Out of My Mind. That song. That's why Poison. Hard for me to find. Well, they get to the rap. And they're like, backstage, underage adolescent. How you doing? She replied, I like to do the wild thing. Action took place. Hey, wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a sec. Like the fact that they didn't cut
Yeah.
that portion of the song out in 2020. Like, I get it. It happened in 1990, whatever.
And maybe that could have been acceptable because fake IDs were definitely a thing.
But like in a song to acknowledge that because she says, he said backstage underage adolescent. How you doing? He's
How
like,
you doing?
how you doing? They say that to Misha. And I was like, sorry, I'm responding to one of the comments. They
No,
say
I heard.
that. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, how do you feel comfortable now
Having children.
having children? You're grown, you're really old to say that. Like,
But my point is, why do they say backstage, underage, and if you missed it, adolescent?
adolescent.
Disrespectful.
It is. Oh yeah. One of the Angel Wings also brought up. They say, there's a part there like, how do you know? Me and the crew used to do her. Me and the crew used to do her.
That me and the crew used to do this. We're pedophiles now.
Well, see, I'm trying to think. Is that's the same part? I say underrated. How you doing? She's flat. I like to do the wild thing. Action took place. Hey, won't get it. The day, the end, the why, y'all. I need a body BF. That's not in the same portion. That's in a different part.
Because I am about to look up these lyrics.
That's in a different part of the song. Them, they're just talking about a chick in that part of the song. At least running a train ain't illegal if the woman is down. But having sex with an underage person and writing about it, what? Like, I'm surprised that, like, when we talk, when it's crazy that when we talk about like lyrics and stuff, and we think about people like NWA that had a whole song called F the Police, and that was just like a huge like you can't say that, but like a song literally talking about having sex with a teenager and you all are grown men. And yes, it definitely probably was not fiction, because these celebrities, especially musicians, were putting their penis up in anything that was willing, and some probably that weren't.
I mean, my favorite song, I Want You and I Want You to Want Me Too, Marvin Gaye, is definitely about a 16-year-old.
What?
Girl.
What? Tell me what?
Yeah.
Tell me the backstory on that.
And the right way, I want you. Like, and I want you to want me too.
He's like, I don't want to rape you. But how do you know that it's a seven? How do you know it's about a teenager?
A baby. Because her mother was a thought. I mean, I'm just listening to blogs. I don't know nothing.
You don't know. But no, you got to give some tea.
I don't know much. But I did do my studies. And I was out with my girlfriends one night. And they're all from Chicago. And, Chicago loves R. Kelly. And, even though they listened to him in private, I was part of that private moment. And, they were feeling sexy. We had a couple drinks and they were like, oh, I want to hear Seems Like You Ready. I want to hear Seems Like You Ready. And so they played the Seems Like You Ready. And they started playing a couple more songs. And at the beginning of his songs, if you have time, he starts the song off with Baby. I'm just saying. He was talking about children. But
because he said baby?
He said baby at the beginning, like, seems like you ready. You could just be like, seems like you're ready. Like, he could just go right into it, but he went, baby. Some kind of way in the beginning of the song, he always starts it with baby.
Are you talking about R. Kelly?
R. Kelly, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know his songs. I was like, what? I was like, baby. Yeah. R. Kelly was definitely talking about kids. Well, we already know it
now, but
he could have said grown woman. We know right now that no, he wasn't talking about no grown woman. He was definitely
talking about children.
He was talking about the real nursery.
Baby. Yeah, real
nursery.
And they're nursery rhymes. Really, truly, if you listen to them. Seems
Truly,
like you're ready.
truly.
Seems like you're ready. He was a Pied Piper. I feel like he gave us so many hints.
He did. He gave us
Yeah.
all the hints that he was inappropriate. And we were like, yeah, sing to us. Sing
I
to
want
us.
to have sex to your music.
I did not like, let me tell you about something inappropriate in real life that happened to me.
What?
Girl, hold on. My phone was like, let's watch a video. I had a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wait a minute, did I tell y'all? I think I told this on it's just gonna cause an argument. There was two times that I feel like I was in a relationship and didn't know, right? Like that there were female friends of mine that I didn't realize were kind of claiming me.
Huh?
Yes, Brisha. Yes. Like not knowing they were not in lesbian relationships at the time.
Oh wow.
Yes, like one came out after we left high school. And then looking back at like the letters she had wrote me and how she was possessive of me, I was like, girl, yes. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Are they still lesbian now?
One, I think, is still kind of closeted. I think she's aware of, but she's not. No, she's not. The other one, absolutely, right? And
They wanted Angel. They wanted Angel's butt.
yes, because here's the thing. The first girl, her brother was trying to holler at me, and she got really angry, like really upset with me when I was like, all right, I'll let him holler. Like he bought me like a Christmas gift. Like she was writing, she would be like, I can't believe. I was like, yo, I ain't done that with him. He's like, he seems nice. Why can't we at least talk? And then once I went through, like, this is like after I had the twins, because I keep all my letters.
Yeah.
Two of my homegirls that I grew up with were out here visiting me. And I was like, let me pull out these old letters. And when we were reading the letters, I was like, wait a second. Were we? Did she think we were in a relationship? Or she was treating it like we were in a relationship? I was like, oh, okay. All right. Good to know. So there was another chick when I got older, right? That like I had to be, I was like, you two team too, right? You team too much. Like we friends, and you really like. She even put. I remember this is when I knew that like, oh, okay, yeah, no, me and you ain't gonna be able to hang out because you doing too much. Is when I had came back. That was the first time I came back to Kentucky. It was the first time I went out on a date with Marcus. But I was also trying to see what was happening between me and the minister of music, right? I was like, we gonna see. We're gonna buy a coastal pimp.
Okay.
I had told her, because at the time we were like friends, that I was like, I went out on a date with this dude that I have been feeling for a while back in Kentucky. I was like, I don't know where this is gonna go, but I'm pumped. She went and told the music the minister of music.
Little hater.
I said, he said, I heard you had a nice date. I was like, but the inappropriate thing, this is because nothing inappropriate ever happened between me and her. The inappropriate thing was one day I was picking her up from her house because she was younger than I was. She didn't have a car. She was still living with her parents. Mm-hmm. And so I went to pick her up. Her father was like, while she was upstairs getting her stuff, her father was like, so you an actress, huh? I said, yeah. He said, so tell me what you would do in a scene if it went like this. Grabs me by my arms.
Oh, hell fucking no.
Turns me to him and pulls me close like that. Like that. And I said, girl, I said the girl's name. I said, girl, I'm ready to go. Come down here. I'm ready to go. And he was like, ha ha, ha 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 ha. That's the last time I ever stepped foot in that house.
It's some dangerous demons up in there.
I was so disgusted.
That is disgusting, Daddy. Like, ew.
The father.
The father. That's why.
How old was I? I was like 24, 25 at the time. And I'm like, I'm friends with your daughter. And you really think just because she's upstairs, what would you do in a scene like this? I was like, nope. Oh, and he was like not even like, you know how sometimes your friends have attractive fathers and you just like, your daddy is a zaddy. No.
This was
no. And he was so much, oh my God, he was so much bigger than me. That was the other thing. He was so much bigger than me. And I was like, that was the reason why I was like, if I could just like diffuse this, that's what I'm going to do. If not, then yes, I'm going to have to fight him and I'm going to have to find something heavy because if this nigga hit me, I ain't getting back up. That's what's not going to happen. But yeah, like that made me go, let me completely distance myself from this.
Well, God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah. I was like, what? Distance myself. I be ignoring that child's that lady's phone calls. I know she's still like, we would go. Like, what's up? She's married. I'm like, no. All that weirdness that happened, I can't even.
Somebody in the chat just said that's giving me Drew Hill Never Make a Promise music video vibes. And I remember listening. I mean, if you don't know, I'm from Baltimore City.
Yeah, you are.
And Drew Hill just happens to be my imaginary cousins. But no, I remember that music video, and I remember that story was even kind of gross because they were like, I got to listen back to that song. I got to look at that video because first of all, it's a classic. Drew Hill is a classic. But, you know, it was just like stories that we hear about my girlfriends that were like, I was always so young. I wanted to be young forever. I did not condone myself or operate with girls that were acting like women. My mom would go, hang out with them. And I'd be like, no, Ma. They are for the streets. Like I knew they're for the streets. I am not for the streets. But one of my girls, it was like when we were riding our bikes back in the day, there was a girl that was like dating somebody's father. Like, yes, we were like 16, 17, but she was like,
what? Dating somebody's whole daddy?
Oh, daddy, girl. Now, she had a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, more than I had. But I'm just saying, I remember riding my bike because I was still acting my age.
Right.
Okay. I was riding bikes. I had a driver's license, but I didn't have gas money, you know? Girl, what's going on in the streets?
Because these men are nasty. That's what it is. Nasty. I remember working at this place. There was a place in Lexington, Kentucky that basically anybody who was Black that was a teenager that needed a job worked at this place. It was called Micro City.
Micro? What were they selling there?
Nothing. It was like what we did. Nothing. What they did, we were responsible for handing out the free lunch in the parks. Micro City was basically, it literally was a city for teens. That's what it was called. That's why it was called that. Micro City. We had a mayor, we had a council board, all that stuff. So like all the Black kids, all the hood kids, everybody worked for Micro City. I wanted a job. So I was like, you know, my Black friends were working at Micro City. So I was like, I'm going to apply for Micro City. Now, the guy who was over Micro City, Dr. Ronald Berry, he had a whole salacious thing happen. He was taken to court, said that he had been touching on the boys. But prior to him going to court, I worked there. And once he met my mama, he knew he couldn't have me out here in these parks because he was like, these kids is wilding. So I had to work. I worked in the office. I didn't experience none of the summer heat. I was a data entry clerk. He was like, you ain't one of these hood kids, Angel. You got to work here in the office. So he was always good to me, but I wouldn't be surprised if something had happened with him and some of the guys. But anyways, and it was probably, unfortunately, like sought out both ways. Like boys knowing that he was gay and like wanting to experience that and being like,
yeah,
forthcoming. But that's not even the inappropriate part.
What is it?
The inappropriate part was the grown men that worked there. There was one in particular. I still remember him, Kenneth Barber.
Ooh,
nothing ever happened between, because I already, having people in my family that had dealt with rape and molestation, I already was kind of like,
you already know what it is. And you know what? I want to also shout out to parents that talk to their children about everything, because it really does help your kid know what's going on.
Yes.
And what to be wary of.
By the time I was 16, I was already thick in a good, like in the good way. Like
you were Janet.
Right. Like just like boo. And he's wanting to take me out to lunch, pay for my meals, all this stuff that I'm just like, why does this grown man who has a wife, have children want to take me out to feed me for lunch? I can have the free lunch with all the hood rats and I'll be a-okay.
Got a box lunch ready.
Right. Why are you trying to take me to go get some wings and things? I ain't gonna sit my butt here. And there was a couple of times where he was just like, Angel, you want to get something to eat? I'll take you out to lunch. Come on, let's go. Sir, this, first of all, you're not attractive to me. So you can't even get me in my head based off of, oh, you're so cute.
Right.
I just want to be near you. Like, no, you look like a grown ass daddy. Like, get out of here with that. And that was the only thing like I had to worry about that summer. I didn't have to worry about the hot ass boys or the mean ass girls, but I did have to worry about the grown men. I was only 16 at the time. So like, I am sure that foolishness would have worked on some other girls. Right. And it's not their fault. Like, it's just not their fault. But like, he had messed with I was like, sir, you see, I'm way too put together. Like, don't try to tap into my brain right now. Like, don't.
Jesus knew, because I looked 12 forever. I just started looking like a grown woman. That's why y'all getting these towel pictures and these parking photos, because this booty is just now looking like my age.
Listen.
I'm not. Like, I'm looking like I'm a good thick 27.
Yeah. You're like, come on, somebody.
Come on. I'm up here with Meg Thee Stallion, feeling like I'm the same age.
And at 16, I was looking like somebody's Meg Thee Stallion. At 16, I was looking a good 22, 25. My body was
you deserved that music contract. You deserved MTV. That's what you deserved.
Okay.
That's what you deserved.
Yeah, no, it was just so, I mean, oh my goodness. He was really like low key, just
pedophile.
In thought, because none of that, there was like maybe one other girl. I think I was the only girl that worked in the office. There were grown women that worked in the office, and there was a guy closer to my age that worked in the office. But as far as the like any other younger girl, I was the only one that was in the office. And had I told, even though Ronald Berry did his stuff, had I told Ronald Berry that, he would have fired him. Yeah, he would have been like, oh, get the hell up out of here, which you're not about to do, even though
Look on the screen, Brisha.
Even though,
What?
yeah.
Look on the screen, Brisha.
I think they're saying your eye line is too far off, maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea.
I feel
um, so
I'm looking at Angel.
I had another music moment that was,
Oh, what was your music moment?
y'all. I was getting ready for one of my birthdays one year. And for those of y'all who don't know me, I love ratchet music. I do. I mean, I love the songs with all the bees and the hoes and the
Oh, yeah.
all that stuff. The just trap beat. We talking about drugs. Not that I want to participate in any of it, but there's something about the griminess of the song that make me be like, right?
Thank you,
So
Erica Williams. She says I still look like I have to go to homeroom. Take it.
you know what? I think T Moore might have been saying you look young on the screen and it just got scrambled. And I think that's what sometimes I have to figure out what people are writing and realize that words are all over the place sometimes.
I'll take them all. I'll take them all, guys.
So yeah, I love a good rat-tat-tat-tat-tat song.
Me too.
So I was putting together a playlist and I was like, ooh, let me put Up Jumps the Boogie on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was my first time ever hearing it on like not the
I
radio
don't know the
version.
lyrics. I don't really know the lyrics.
Well, I finally got to hear the lyrics because I was
Oh.
just like, oh my gosh. Oh, we figured out what she was saying. She said Brisha looked good on the screen. So, like I said, some of the letters got tore up. That's what she was saying to you earlier. She retyped it.
Well, I hope I don't disappoint you in person.
You're just as gorgeous. Just as gorgeous.
We both are.
So I was listening to Up Jumps the Boogie a
And
few
what
years back. A couple of things that they said that make me go, you want to say that? Are you really saying that in the song? Magoo says, I fiend for all beats like girls jump for dicks.
Oh.
That's literally a
I
line.
fiend for the beats, just like girls jump for dicks.
Let's just take the jump, I fiend for these. I fiend for all beats like girls jump for dicks.
Okay.
I was like, what? But this is the part because now in a society we can't be saying a bunch of homophobic stuff. Like at one point in time, it was what everybody was doing. So to hear it in this song, he says, hold on, let me find it. It's in the same. Let me just read that stanza because it's in the same thing. Okay, he says, I fiend for all beats like girls jump for dicks. Don't salt the next man. Keep that Lindbergh shit. Up in the cut like gay niggas and butts.
Oh God.
I said,
like gay niggas and butts.
I
He
said,
didn't say the F word.
he didn't. He said the N word, which they all
He might as well have with all that what he said.
I was like gay dudes and butts.
He was just like, we gon' show you how we are.
Give it up.
Check it out. Name. Trying to be Aaliyah with the with the bang.
I said like gay news and butts. Is that what we're saying? Magoo, that was the hot 8 bars you wanted to drop?
Well, he said with that little voice. I don't know why I have the hiccups. He said that I was like, am I a baby?
You are. R. Kelly would love you. Go ahead.
I know. It would make it illegal. It would make it legal. But he has herpes. Anywho, he has that weird voice. He's like mega yes. Like he has that like goof. Look, this is funny. I have hiccups, but he has a goofy voice where it makes it like, oh, it's so cute. Did you just hear me squeak?
Yes, you sound like a child, like a squeak toy, like a squeak toy. Like they even say, I think this is Timberland who says this. Prepare to get wet like Jerry curl juice. You tight like virgin pussy. My rap get you loose.
Wait, do men like virgin pussy? Like when I was a virgin, it was not fun.
Listen, I don't know what they like. Um, I only know what my husband likes,
That's
and
right. That's right.
based off of these four kids, I think he's okay with not having a virgin. But I think that's something that dudes be they want to be able to conquer. And his comparison was about the tightness, tight like a virgin's
Like,
PUS. That's why.
like, okay.
Yeah, but even still though, like back in the day, most of these chicks that were virgins, and even today, are teenagers. They're well, you're still talking about an adolescent because there are very few women that make. There are women that do,
Yep.
but there are a lot of women who don't make it out of their teens as virgins. So more than likely, he's talking about an adolescent yet again.
Yet again. Yet again. Leave the babies alone.
It's
Leave
so
the babies
disgusting.
alone.
It's so disgusting. Like
I mean, when you think about Aaliyah, okay.
I mean, we didn't skip all over that baby. Yes, she was just being taken advantage of. A lot of people in the music industry, these young girls, they get. I even think about Ashanti. Like they just get
That
taken.
laugh always was a little like haunting to me. I was like,
Like
laugh holds secrets.
it holds secrets, and it makes you think like the only people that potentially might have been protected is like a Beyonce because her dad, and if her dad's doing all the things he's supposed to do, like that's the only way you can be protected is if your parent is your manager because
Sometimes,
because sometimes
and
these
not
parents will pimp you
sometimes
out.
not.
Sometimes they will pimp you out to make a buck.
Okay.
Oh my God. Did you have another inappropriate moment, Brisha?
Girl, no. I mean, it's just I feel like everything that I was raised on was inappropriate. Even
Everything.
Big Bird. Even Big Bird.
You why Big Bird?
I don't know. I bet if I dig deep enough, I find something inappropriate about Big Bird.
I'm going to only touch on it slightly, but because me and Kev decided not to talk about it on Here's the Thing, and I know you didn't watch it, and I also don't want you to drag yourself down a hole that you can't get out of.
Please,
But
I have nothing to do.
Huh? What'd you say?
Please do. I have nothing to do.
No. I don't want to drag you. I mean, socially get you dragged down a hole. I don't want to do that to you. So I'm only going to touch on this slightly.
Oh.
So me and Kev watched Disclosure, which is a documentary about the trans community, especially as it relates to Hollywood. But have several thoughts about it. But the one thought that I want to highlight that I learned that I was not aware of because my eyes were closed to it was the plight of the transgender character in movies has been tragic. It's either tragic or joke. So what I mean by that is that, like, if you think about Law and Order, they'll put a transgender character, but no, they've been murdered. They were the person that was killed at the beginning. You think about, was it Gone Girl or Girl Gone? The one, she won an Oscar for it. I can't remember. But like even her character gets killed at the end. But I was recently watching Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. And at the end, do you remember that movie, Brisha?
I mean, it was one of my favorites. I mean, I have to go back for the reference, but
so Einhorn, he discovers was born a man.
Oh.
And once he discovers that, because Einhorn, Finkel, he's like, Finkel is Einhorn, Einhorn is Finkel, Finkel is Einhorn, Einhorn is Finkel. Once he discovers that, and he recalls that he had kissed the woman, he begins to like try to make himself throw up, like goes through this whole like thing of like, you know, trying to cleanse himself of ever being with someone who was transgender. And then at the very end, this is the part that really, when I watched Ace Ventura recently, this is before watching Hilary Swank is the one who won the Oscar for the thing that I was referring to. I still can't remember the name of the movie, but
yeah, that was Boys, right?
No, something like it. But at the end, when he's trying to, when he was trying to get everybody to know that he was right and that Einhorn was Finkel and Finkel was Einhorn, he rips her out of her shirt. She has breasts, and he's like, and he pulls down her dress, and we're looking at the front of her, and there's no evidence of any, you know, penis or testicles. And then he turns her around, and you see the imprint of testicles and penis, and then everybody starts to throw up in the movie at the end of that movie. And I was like, I remember watching it recently. I'm talking about during quarantine. And I
watched that as a kid, and I didn't even know what I was watching.
I was like, oh, well, that's just terrible. Yeah. Like I realized, but I realized in that movie was terrible. I didn't realize how much that had repeated itself in cinema. This thing of making trans people feel as though they were just so repulsive. And I was like, oh man, like that had like my heart, like actually it broke for them, because I was like, that's got to be something. Now, granted, this is what I will say, not to make any excuses for the movie. As a young person watching it, I never saw
I loved Ace Ventura. We would play Ace Ventura.
I didn't see the Finkel character as someone as a trans person. I saw it as a crazy person who went into deep disguise to take out a football team.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't connecting it for myself as this is a person who felt like they were born in the wrong body. So they went through a transition. I thought it was, this is a crazy person who wanted to get back at an entire team. So they went under deep disguise, had a full-blown sex change, and decided this whole plan. Like, so regardless of how I saw it younger, I now am like, man, that's just terrible.
Right.
So that was like looking back at shows and realizing, like, I mean, they're always they love to use people who don't, you know, there are people who are trans that transitioned very well. There's like, it's seamless. Like you cannot tell what their assigned gender was, right? But like a lot of times in movies, they will purposefully put a guy who looks very masculine in a wig and in terrible makeup to again make them the joke.
Right. That's not even how it is.
I mean, there are some trans people.
There are some. I mean, you have all kinds of
that still have very masculine features. I'm referring to trans women, but like that is their way to make a joke of it, is to make them look like not put together. And I was just like, whoa, like it was very eye-opening to me to be like, wow, you had to watch this all these years, all this
your own identity of what it is to be a transgender.
Yeah. So I'm realizing like, oh man, that is hugely inappropriate. I didn't see that as a younger child because obviously, like everybody has been saying, we see things under a different lens, and also we take on a lot of times
Well,
what society says is
someone
acceptable.
just someone just mentioned Shantae G. She said you don't ever see it as a child, but there's so many shows, music, and movies. Jamie Foxx did it as Wanda, and Martin with Shanae. But what's so funny about to me about that, I knew it would. I'll keep hiccuping, but I knew it was Jamie Foxx. But I took it as Wanda was a woman. I didn't
Mm,
think of it or even as Shanae. I was happy to see Shanae as the woman Shanae. I didn't picture her as a man dressed up as a woman. I took it as it was a character, Shanae, and Shanae is on the screen.
right, but the joke of it is that you're looking at these
A
very
awful depiction of a man dressed
yes,
up as a woman. But
yeah,
I just think from, just when I was growing up, of course,
mm,
I
mm,
wouldn't want a black woman, like up. I mean, I know some black women that are, you know,
mm,
some women, white, black, Hispanic,
right.
all kinds that are different. But I just thought it was so interesting.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
no, we're not saying though for those of you all who are saying those weren't trans characters. We're not saying that they were. We're saying that there's a joke. There was an overriding joke of picturing a man
Man in a woman's
playing.
garb being
Yes.
hilarious, like Tu
It,
Wong Fu. Like,
right. Because Jamie and them weren't playing I'm a man. The character of
weren't humanized.
Wanda,
They weren't humanized.
right. And the character of Wanda wasn't look at me, this man being a woman. It was Wanda looks like this. And the only type of person that would look like this is someone
Who gets
who
treated
would
like
be
this.
transitioning. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, you're
Um,
right.
so
It
yeah, I
ain't
just huh?
it ain't right, I guess. Yeah, no. It
Yeah,
ain't right.
I was like, wow, like my heart really did because I can't imagine if all the images that I saw, if the only images I saw of black women were to either be murdered or to be made fun of, what that would do to my psyche. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And into
And how that is still going, because
yes,
and how that is still going, the rates of women that are being killed, trans women that are being killed right now,
yeah,
and how they're even depicted in media.
yeah,
Um, it's such a reflection of what we need to change and be aware of.
yeah. So yeah, that's the one thing I didn't want to dive deeper and then, like I said, get us
I
dragged.
want to
'Cause we
watch
didn't-
Disclosure. I've been putting it off, but
yeah,
I'm gonna watch Disclosure
yeah.
tonight. I'm gonna
And
watch
just
it.
because I am not active in that community, I'm still learning what language is deemed appropriate, what language is deemed hurtful. So I didn't want to have a longer conversation of it. I just wanted to share what I
What
had
you
learned.
saw, right?
What I had learned is hella inappropriate. Like, and it was as a grown woman, it's very blatant. But because I haven't gone really looked at those memories of what I've saw in the eyes of from the eyes of trans rights and everything, like once I did because of the documentary, I was like, oh my God. Oh, this is terrible. So, anyways, that's the last inappropriate moment we will discuss today. But yeah, check out if I thought the documentary was okay. I thought that there was pieces that I felt like they left out or could have explained more, but I still think it's informative, very informative regardless. So check it out if you
I'm
feel like
gonna
it.
watch it tonight. I really do, and I really hope that in some time in the near future, like sooner than later,
Mm,
that trans women can have a seat at the table with women of color and just women, but mostly women of color, because it is it's just it's it's time for women of color and trans women to sit at a table and just talk
mm.
talk about our differences, talk about our similarities, and really get an understanding of each other.
Very good.
I would like
No,
that. I
well,
would really like that. And I would like to see that.
Sherry, we're not talking about it on me and Kev won't be talking about that on Here's the Thing. This is why I decided to bring it up now. Since I watched the documentary, I was like, well, let me take the information I learned and pass it on. So
Yeah,
let's
watch the documentary, but I want us all to have a conversation because I don't like the gray area of us not knowing what to say and what's
Mhm.
appropriate. And I want it to be a forum for all women.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, guys, let's lay down your edges before we let you go. Okay. So, we're going to give you something to just soothe your mind and your body and your
Yeah,
soul.
okay.
So, I'm going to give you something that I did today. I had a random day of self-care today. And you know how sometimes we're like, oh my goodness, because I kept saying after my birthday weekend, I was like, I'm gonna take a bath. I'm gonna take a bath. And I was exhausted. I've never gotten a bath. I just got in the bed. So I would say once the moment presents itself, do not put self-care off. If you have the moment, take it. It was so nice today deciding because I did so much editing yesterday and I was just like, I'm not editing another goddamn thing, even though I did. But I was like, you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna do a couple of Instagram posts. I'm gonna talk to, my followers and stuff a little bit. And then I'm just going to do what I want to do to feel good. I'm not gonna wait for self-care Saturday or self-care Sunday. It's about to be take care of Angel Thursday. Um,
Okay.
so truly when the moment, because I think a lot of times we think the moment will present itself later, we're like, you know what, I'll get time, but then you get busy, something else puts and you know what, and I'll say this. Oh, this is this other thing I'll say for lay down your edges, and then I'll stop talking, because I'm doing this Bible study with my husband on ambition.
You guys are so good.
And I put it in, it's just a 7-day thing, and I got to make sure I do today. It's just a 7-day Bible study or devotional. And I put it in my Instagram post about when you say yes to something, you are ultimately saying no to something else. So if I say, oh, yes, I can do this podcast, right? I'm ultimately saying that on Thursdays, I'm saying no to anything else at this time, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, when you say no to self care, you will probably put something in its place. And you might accidentally say yes to something where you thought you were going to say yes to self-care. You might accidentally say yes to something else, whether it be I'm going to be on the phone with my girlfriend, or whether it be I'm going to help my husband with something. You'll accidentally say yes to something where self-care was supposed to be the thing you were going to say yes to. So again, when the moment arises, just go ahead and say yes to self-care. Okay.
Yes to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's my lay your edges down moment. What's yours, Brisha?
Well, in this time of reflection and what I touched on earlier, is just like educating ourselves on all the gray areas. I'm learning more about our history.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was part of the people that were like, why am I just finding out about this historical moment on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram? So
Uh-huh.
I'm reading more. I'm educating myself. I'm learning about different authors and different documentaries that I can watch. I watched The Hidden Truths of Black Warfare recently, which was very enlightening. And I'm going to watch the whole entire series. And so I've been educating myself about that. Of course, I want to further my knowledge about trans lives and wanting it to matter more in my life. So educating myself as much as possible so I can be fully educated on the language, and just knowing more.
Mm-hmm.
So I will watch Disclosure tonight, and I will have more conversations with people that I haven't been able to have conversations with, just so I can learn more, and so I can spread more love, more truths, more factual.
Mm-hmm.
content than just speculated or trying to figure it out, So that's what I've been taking the time to do. And, lay your edges that way. So anytime there's any confusion, find out the truths for yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Find out the truths. You guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Hold On to Your Edges.
We missed you
With,
guys, just us being us, It's
yeah.
I mean, it's here.
Yeah.
Here.
This is where it's at. I'm so, something I'm mad that we didn't talk about, but we're not going to talk about it today. During the Edge Snatchable moment,
What?
since you said gaining knowledge, finding out that the ice cream truck song was called
Super racist.
Niggas Love Watermelon.
Yes. And niggas do love watermelon. Did you know? Did you know that out of when slavery ended, that was like the main thing. Selling watermelon was like the main entrepreneurship of Black, freed slaves. And then they being the others, they criminalized it and made it seem like such a stereotype, and they put it in their movies about the Black face with the watermelon, so that Black people didn't want to buy watermelon because they didn't want to participate in that stereotype.
Wow.
What I'm learning while
you learning.
Okay.
While you learning.
So Black people enjoy watermelon. Okay. It is what we like, and it is okay.
I don't like watermelon.
I love watermelon. And eat the ones with seeds. It's okay. Spit them out.
But
no, they were making entrepreneur efforts. And as soon as the others, started seeing that we started making income and starting to buy property and things like that, they made it.
Said, we're going to make y'all feel real stupid for eating watermelon.
Stupid for watermelon. No, watermelon is good.
I don't like it, but I love it in a cocktail.
Okay.
Love it in a cocktail. All right, guys. So we'll catch you all next week on Hold On
to Your Edges.
We'll have new guests on, so you all be ready, be locked and loaded, and we'll talk to you all then. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.